Hello, uglies. Desmond here,
LaCresha.
and welcome back to the channel for another part of Let's Play.
Wrong channel. Wrong
Oh, I
channel.
haven't done that intro in a while. My goodness. Take two. Hello, uglies. It's Desmond,
LaCresha.
and welcome back to the channel. And today we are here to discuss the Boulet Brothers Dragula. Season 6, episode, I believe we're on episode 5 now. Yeah, episode 5. Woo. So, before we get into it, I gotta remind everyone that we have a goal of 1,000 subscribers and we'd love to reach that as soon as possible. So to help us achieve that goal, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We'll wait. And we thank you very much. Um, Now, Miss Creasha, what do we think of this week's episode of Dragula?
Dragula. This was interesting.
It was. I'm gonna say this, and this might come off ugly, but for a show that keeps trying to say it's different from another show, it's slowly turning into that other show.
My thoughts. My thoughts.
And like, I love Dragula, but when I heard the challenge this week, and they introduced the lip sync extermination last season. I'm okay with that because I feel like that is a fundamental skill that most drag queens should have.
Right.
But baby, when I heard we were doing a musical, I'm like, y'all just got on Delta's show talking about how y'all aren't like that other show, and y'all do this, that, and the third. When we're slowly turning into it. I will say I wish there was a little bit more production on the musicals. But
Well, they ain't got that money yet.
they gonna get there because baby
I
Shudder is investing in them heavy. And you see the improvements more and more the longer they're with Shudder. So now that's one thing I will say. That is like an amazing partnership between them and Shudder. I heard they're trying to get the Chucky franchise exclusively for Shudder, and I'm like, oh, I won't be mad at that. Now it wouldn't make me keep Shudder because I don't do scary movies. But everybody knows who Chucky is. Everybody knows Child's Play, et cetera, et cetera. And it would be good for it to have like an official home.
Right.
And for those who do like scary movies.
HBO.
Yeah, and for those who do love scary movies, I imagine that would be like, ooh, maybe I will keep Shudder year round.
But, Chucky movies, Saw movies. Now, if 13 Ghosts was on there, I might do that because, that's pretty much the only scary movie I like besides, 6.
I don't think I like any scary movie, to be honest with you.
I like thrillers. And I don't know if 13 Ghosts qualifies as a thriller.
I could do suspenseful movies. I could do I could do suspenseful
movies. It's just,
movies.
Matthew Lillard was at his sexiest then. And, the only thing I can't do, because there's somebody who's doing it on TikTok, and I'm like, I can't watch these when it's dark because then I'm going to see these people in my apartment and I'm going to be upset.
Yeah.
Because somebody is doing a deep dive on 13 Ghosts. So basically what they're doing is they're taking all of the special features, 2-3 minute long vignettes that they've done on each of the ghosts from the movie. And they're putting them on TikTok, and then they're like, yeah, and basically regurgitating everything that they've said, and just trying to compare them to the Zodiac, I guess. And so, all the rest of the ghosts, no problem with the rest of the ghosts. It's just the vaunted beauty is quite literally the only one I am afraid of, and she is literally the one that killed herself in a bathtub. Well, unalived herself. We can believe it, whatever. She unalived herself in the bathtub. She got all kinds of plastic surgery. So, for some weird reason, the big fat dude and the itty bitty mom don't scare me, but the big busty chick that slit her wrist is the one that scares me the most. Because she's the one I see all the time.
I'm finna say I never watched any of the 13 Ghosts. The only 13 Ghosts I've seen was the 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo.
No.
Yeah, the 13th Ghost of Scooby Doo. And honestly, the way that show ended still makes me mad all these years later. Can we get a redo? Can we get a redo? Because I don't even think they actually made it to the 13th Ghost or something like that. I can't remember. I need to rewatch the series. I do own it. But yeah, that's about it. That's the scariest I could do.
Willard's in that too.
He is. Well, wait, I don't think he was voicing Shaggy at that point yet. I know he voiced Shaggy now. But I don't think he voiced Shaggy then. But yes, honey, let's go ahead and get into this episode because we got quite a bit to talk about. So we start off back at the Boulet's house. And, hold on. For some reason, this is not acting right. Let me pop that back out. Maybe I need to... Okay, there we go. I fixed it. Now, we're at the Boulet's house. And they give us their introduction yet again. We enter the laboratory. And everybody enters in groups of pairs. And I'm like... Yeah, groups of pairs. That's a group of two. But I was so confused at first. I'm like, did they keep both of them? Because that was my first thought. I'm like, we're coming in as pairs, but I'm like, wait, the numbers aren't adding up. Somebody's going to come in by themselves. So I'm like, maybe everybody will come in as pairs, and then that one person who stayed will come in. But we get to this point where everyone's in the laboratory, then Vivi walks in. And I'm like, so did Gray go home? And where's Majesty? Because at that point, other people are pointing out, where is Majesty?
Right.
Then Gray walks through the door. And like as soon as I saw Gray come through, I'm like, oh, Majesty decided to go home. So the Boulets were like, you know what? We'll keep both of them. And then my girl came in. For those who didn't watch BuzzFeed, back when BuzzFeed was reviewing TV shows, she was part of the panel for RuPaul's Drag Race. So, love to see her. But yes, she came in, gave them the note, and Asia read the note that Majesty left for everybody, saying that she decided to put her mental health first and leave the competition. Right. I hated to see her go. I did. And I completely get why she left. I just hated to see her go.
Right.
Because I was excited to see this new version of Majesty. But I will say, I agree. I forget who said it, but I agree. I think what Auntie said really dug deeper than what maybe Auntie was anticipating it would. Because, we talked about it last week. I'm like, I know some narcissism, Majesty is nowhere near that level just yet. So to call Majesty a narcissist was like, whoa.
Right.
Whoa, what are we doing here? And then they actually showed us the clip from when Majesty was speaking with the producers, letting them know, hey, I'm ready to go. So it's official, Majesty has left the competition, and both of the queens that were up for extermination last week are still in the competition. But it really makes me wonder. I personally think if Majesty would not have quit, Vivi would have been the one to go home.
Facts.
I personally feel that way, but you never know with the Boulets. So, the alarm goes off and the Boulets appear on the screen. And they announced this week they will be doing a musical. It is taking everything in me not to call it a musical. It took everything in me in that moment to go, musical. A musical this week, inspired by the new off-Broadway production of Drag. Starring Alaska, who is going to be the special guest judge this week. So they're going to work in pairs. See, now I'm saying pairs. They're going to work in teams. And they're going to be coached vocally by Alaska. And I'm like, now, wait a minute. I love me some Alaska. I listened to a few of her songs.
However,
I do not think She is a
Voice
vocalist.
A vocalist.
Now, I will say she did give good advice,
Vox
though.
is not machina.
I, I will say she did give some good advice. I will give her that. But when they said vocal coaching from Alaska, I'm like, Alaska Thunderfuck. 5,000. 5,000. The winner of All Stars 2. The runner-up of Season 5. That Alaska. Oh, okay.
That Alaska.
Okay. But she did give good advice, though. So, honey, they really got into it. So, they were broken into their teams. On this first team, we have Pi, Asia, Aurora, and Jaharia. And on the other team, we have Auntie, Vivi, Gray, and Yuri. Alaska comes in, sits down with our monsters. It's so weird seeing Alaska in the cauldron. I'm like, well, what are you doing here? This is not
a very unflattering picture of Alaska, sir.
the one of Alaska coming in the room.
No, the one the person sitting on the couch.
Ain't nothing wrong with this picture. Except for the eyes are closed.
That worked.
Just because the eyes are closed doesn't mean it's unflattering. Now, when we get to Down Under, I've already seen it. The one I got of Michelle on the panel. Y'all just got to forgive me when we get there. But, yeah, so it was good. It was weird seeing Alaska in the cauldron. I'm like, Alaska, this is not the Untucked Lounge or the Interior Illusions Lounge when you did the show. But, yeah. So we go onwards. Becca came in to help with the choreography because they were struggling. Well, I'm sorry. Asia and them were doing fine. It was Yuri and them who was struggling.
Facts.
And I'm like, I think the Boulet saw that and they're like, who's available? Can we get somebody in here pronto?
Right? Let's get a real quick choreographer in here.
Real quick. Because my thing is, why wasn't the choreographer there from the beginning?
Right. Well, because they said in the challenge, you're going to have to act it out, sing it out, choreography, everything. And then I was like, what's the choreographer doing there? I thought they had to do their own choreography.
Thank you. And honestly, we've seen this a few times on the other show where they'll say you have to choreograph it, and then the choreographer shows up. They're like, yeah, they weren't doing right. So they're like, can we get somebody in here real quick? Can we get somebody in here? Come, please. Just call me Sabrina, okay? So afterwards, we see them in the laboratory getting ready. And now it's time. Oh, I love this screenshot of Drac I got here. This was just everything. All right, now let's talk about what the Boulets got on this week. Our hostesses with the mostesses. What did you think and your score?
This gets a D. Because of the shoes.
Listen,
the shoes mess up the whole outfit.
From the waist up, great. Love it so much. From the waist down, copy and paste from what I said a few weeks ago about that is not the appropriate booth length for neither one of them.
Neither one of them. It don't help one of them's tall and the other one's short.
Yeah, so
one got real muscular legs and the other one has has different form of muscular legs. They're not lean, they're very built.
Yeah, so for me, I might have to agree with the D because from the waist up, I love it. Yes. But from the waist down, it's just like, Boulets. Come on, Boulets.
Who is she?
Who is she? So, this week we are joined by Alaska Thunderfuck, our drag superstar.
I love how her makeup has just evolved.
I know, right? And then we're joined by Darren Stein, who has been a guest judge on every season of Dragula.
His little merkin, you can see the glue mark.
I didn't notice that until now. You were terrible. You are terrible. I did not see that. Now I can't stop. Matter of fact, let's move on. All right, so let's talk about the Rat House. The Rat House is Auntie, Gray, Vivi, and Yuri. And I'll go first. This was Auntie didn't know the words.
Painful.
Vivi couldn't find the beat.
Oh God.
Gray was okay. And I agree. I didn't expect Yuri to have a little voice. She had a little voice. Not as great as they were trying to make it sound. But I was like, okay, Yuri.
Right.
All right.
Yuri pulled that out of her behind. She was squeezing so tight it made her vocal cords go.
But yeah, the biggest ooks was Auntie forgetting the words. And, you know, I like how they brought up, well, you know, you did play the old one. I'm like, she did. If she really would have played into it, it probably would have worked for her.
Right. I mean, it didn't. It helped that the next line she did remember, and that came out was "I'm so old." So, I mean, it worked in her favor, but Vivi just kind of jacked them up. And I'm like, I know they had the track playing, even though when they do the playbacks, when they do the flashbacks, it's like dead silent. But I'm like, you had to, at the very least, had like a timer there. Click, 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 click.
Like,
click.
I don't, like, maybe because we both have some sort of background in music.
Right.
It's just like, how can you not just go along
Pick
with
up
the beat?
Tempo.
And it's just like, you were always like, I can't even do it how she was doing. Like, my body won't let me.
She was literally like ahead of it the whole time.
The whole time she would say the word.
Let me hurry up and get this words out because I think I'm gonna remember. Okay,
because she would say it, and then the music, and you could hear in the cadence of the music that she was supposed to say it along to the beat.
Right.
But she said it beat, and it was throwing me off so bad.
And then everybody else in the background's like, okay, do we follow her and do the little or do we go back here and wait for the
That was. But
in all honesty, like, because they kept trying to excuse Auntie and be like, well, was it because Vivi was off that threw you off? Yada, yada, yada. I don't care. If you off, I'm off, whatever. I know what the tempo is. I know when I'm supposed to come in. Do. My turn. I'm old and
But yeah, that was hard to watch. The Rat House.
It was so painful.
But luckily, the Snake Pit came in and did a much better job. Now they had their faults, but much better.
Much better.
So Snake House was Pi, Aurora, Asia Consent, and Jaharia. They did such a good job. But here's my issue, and it's with the whole thing, not just them. This was a musical.
Right.
So why didn't we have some decorations on the stage?
Props.
Maybe a cute backup dancer or two. Like I get it, you know, you gotta play within your budget, but if we're gonna continue to do this musical challenge that we've seen, we need a little bit more. Cause I'm like, now I haven't seen the off-Broadway drag play, but I imagine they have stuff on the stage.
They do, because I've seen snippets on YouTube and TikTok. There's props because it's a play. It's a Broadway show. Like, it's the only reason why it's off Broadway is because right now it's hopefully you need it. It's needing extra backing, but once it gets picked up, who knows where it could be.
Yeah.
But it could be like Avenue Q, which was really cute and funny, by the way.
Mm-hmm. But yes, this group right here is so much better. Now, Aurora was off, but I felt like she played it off because her character was the one that was kidnapped.
Exactly.
So, even with her being a little off, yeah, because she was kidnapped. She's scared, all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I didn't agree with the Boulet's critique about Jaharia not taking the center stage, they felt like she's holding back. I felt like she was there.
Right.
And she gets extra points because she choreographed this.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, like Pi did a great job too. So like I'm not tripping that Pi got the win here. But it was just like they were like, oh, it seems like, blah 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 for Jahari, and I'm like, I didn't see that, and it just make me feel like you're trying to make me feel that.
Mm-hmm.
When I thought she did the best in this group, and to me she shined. But hey. So we have all of our beautiful monsters here. Now, we didn't touch much on their looks, but that was another thing that, was in the criteria for this week. They had to look cohesive as a group. And I have to give credits to both groups. They were both very cohesive with each other.
Very both.
You could tell, oh yeah, these are the rats, these are the snakes. Everyone did such a good job there. Does anyone in particular have your favorite look out of our 8 monsters up here?
Not really. I mean, like, the most creative look would probably be like, I just drew a blank.
Lisa, I'll help you. Which group are they in?
Gray. Boom.
Oh, Gray Matter. Okay. I'm finna say that was the one I was gonna point out. I'm like, either Gray or Auntie. Like, those two looks right there was...
Right. Like, I like Auntie pre-skirt.
Yeah. But yeah, I have to agree with Gray. Gray really just did a great job. But we find out that
Gray looked like the Rat King from the Nutcracker.
Oh, it's been so long since I've seen anything Nutcracker related, but it's almost that time of year. I should be seeing it soon.
Debbie Allen was rehearsing that several months ago.
Oh, okay, well, baby. She says we gonna be ready. So the best team was Team Jaharia, Aurora, Pi, and Asia. Do you agree with them being the best team?
Yes.
Now the win went to Pi. And I think Pi did a great job, so I'm not tripping, but I honestly would have gave it to Jaharia.
Same, because, like, I'm trying to figure out what Pi did besides perform decently.
Honestly, in this type of challenge, that's all you really need to do, especially when you saw that first group. The Rat Tat Fever over there. You just got to be decent. And that's all they had to be, was decent. So I give them 2 snaps and a kiss for it, okay? But then the Boulets announced that they get to choose who the bottom 2 are for this week. And I want to say something. So they were talking all this shit in the cauldron. Right. Like, we're going to put up Gray and we're going to put up Auntie. It's time to play the game. It's time to... And every single one of them, when they got back on that main stage...
They backdoored and was like, Auntie and Vivi.
Auntie and Vivi. Auntie and Vivi. Auntie and Vivi. Auntie and Vivi. What? I'm glad you weren't watching this with me, because who was cussing?
Yeah.
Because you know me, I'm all about playing the game, baby. So hearing them talk about them playing the game, I'm like, hell yes, it's time to send these bitches home. Let's go. Send in Gray. Send in Auntie. Make them battle it out. Well, that was before they knew it was a lip sync, but put them up for extermination. Do it. Put your mind to it. And then they get on me and say, I was just drunk with power. I'm like, now, is that really y'all's thought, or did somebody come whisper in y'all ear?
I think somebody came and whispered something to them.
Came in and whispered in your ear like, hey.
We was going to get rid of Vivi if Magic hadn't left. We need to get rid of the person.
It was just like a complete 180. And guess what, baby? It couldn't have been me, because who would have been sitting there pissed is me. And guess what? I would have been like, up there, be like, unlike my other team members, I'm going to stick with the actual plan. And then look at them. And nominate Auntie and Gray. baby, don't let me have on a good flowy wig because it would have flew like my
He said a
team,
good flowy wig.
Auntie and Gray. The hell you mean? But hey, they all voted for Auntie and Gray. I mean, Auntie and Vivi.
Literally.
And it was announced that they have to do a lip sync performance for their extermination.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not a lip sync for your life, but a lip sync for your life. Literally for your life, because you are going to die.
Yes.
But they did a lip sync song of Waiting by season 4 winner Dolly.
Ooh.
You know, shout out to the Dolly out there.
Yes.
Friend of the channel.
The other channel.
But Vivi was talking all that shit, talking about, oh yeah, I'm finna come out here, I'm finna kill it, blah blah blah. That music started playing and Auntie ate her up.
Okay.
And Auntie was the one who was a little nervous, you know. We know Vivi's a performer. I couldn't tell Vivi was a performer from this lip sync. And maybe it's just a bad song choice for Vivi. But Auntie,
emoted.
and honestly, for me, a lip sync is, I don't care about the flips and the dips and the tricks. You know, are those nice?
Right.
Yes. Don't get me wrong. I will be impressed every time. But if you can emote, if you can sell the song to me with just your face, that is more impressive to me.
Sold it with her face with one eye closed.
Like, I felt this rap. And the only thing I didn't like is the guest judges were gone. Like, Alaska and the other guest judges was gone. I'm like, wait, no, bring them back. They don't get to watch the show? Like, they were like, you already got to watch one show. We're the only ones for this show. But the Boulets made their decision. And Vivi has been exterminated.
Yes.
So, as Vivi is walking off the stage and going backstage,
we follow her.
We
through
follow.
the backstage.
And we see the Boulets first smash her with a hammer and then inject poison into her neck. And that's all Vivi wrote. I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting a little more from Vivi this episode, especially because she talks a lot about being a performer. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be her redemption. You know, she should have went home last week, but she got another chance. Now she's gonna go out here and show them what it's supposed to be like.
Nope.
Not at all.
Got nervous and turned tail quite literally.
Yeah. But yeah, great episode. I'm excited to see what they're going to do next. I hate that we don't get a little, you know, next time on Dragula. Like, I just want a little, you know, what we doing next week. Just a little, you know, every show does that. Like, reality shows, sitcoms, every TV show always does on the next episode of, and you get a little, just a little, see what we're gonna get. Try to lure you in for next week. But the Boulet's like, no, y'all be here. Bye. And they're right. We will be here. But you know, I would appreciate just a little, just a little. But honey,
did we get the outros with all the casual stuff, which I kind of like because it harkens back to the original, you know, show format where you just saw all the like messiness backstage.
Listen, I missed when you used to get the bloopers at the end. That's what I missed when from the sitcoms where you would just get the bloopers at the end. Those used to be just so funny to me. Especially My Wife and Kids, they always had like the best bloopers at the end. Because, you know, the Wayans are funny as hell and, you know, are major pain. But yeah, I say we go ahead and wrap this up. Creesha, where can they find you on the medias of social?
You can find me at Creesha McGill. That's CRESHAMCGILL on all social media.
And you can find me in the club, Pocket Full of Bud, my mom. But If I'm not there, you can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDESMOND. Thank you so much for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all soon. Bye.